I'd say about 8 o'clock, getting close to that time. And as I said, so this is where, what yoga is really all about. And stepping into your power zone. That's right. Stepping into whatever or wherever you're moving on to into the day to get yourself started. Now this is to the extreme. I'm talking about everyday existence, just a regular day. This is obviously not a regular day because I'm out here. I got out here particularly early in the morning. And it's never easy. You never know how it's going to go. I didn't really know where I was going to go to, what thing I was going to try to do, but I kind of just did it all in the flow. So kind of adapting, adjusting, and accommodating. So this is what I'm talking, this is what yoga is all about. It's about stepping into your zone. So you've got things going on around you. You've got people. You've got, maybe in your particular day, you've got obstacles that you're facing. You've got the boss. Maybe you've got negativity that's surrounding you that already starts hitting you when you hit the road. So yoga is about going through things that we don't necessarily want to encounter throughout the day, but still go through them and be in that discomfort while we're going through it. And that is where we get the real growth through the yoga practice. It's when we really start to move into that zone, into that power zone, what I'm talking about, where we want to be, but we don't necessarily have the courage or the fortitude or even the faith to do it. But yoga is the training and is the tool or the mechanism, shall we say, to get you into that moment, to get you into that power zone, to step into that mode. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm going to slow down a bit. And for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Michael Jeff, and this is the Yoga Lounge channel. It's been around for a few years. And we're just going to get right into the class here. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to go with the flow. So this is what I'm talking about, like getting into what you're feeling today. It may not necessarily be what the literature says, what the according to the Vedanta, according to this book, that book, the whatever book. It's what you are feeling that you need to do, because everything is all about yourself in regards to yoga and listening to your body. Everything is about listening to what's going on with you so that you can accommodate that and to bring yourself into the best possible situation that you can be based on the infinite consciousness and the surroundings and what is coming at you. So you need to be focused on yourself in this respect. And that means not to take the worship away from God, because that's where ultimately, we only have one responsibility, and that's our devotion to God and our faith, our persistence in that. But we're talking about the exercise. We're talking about taking care of ourselves, taking care of our body, taking care of our body, mind, and spirit. And so that's what we're doing here. So we're stepping into the zone today. And I hope that you are able to kind of get into that. If you can't, just, you may want to just come back to it. It doesn't always go the way you want it to all the time, and there's always slip-ups. And I just want to say one more thing. Mistakes are always good. So we learn from our mistakes. You know, when we have too much perfection, everything is too slick, everything is edited, then we kind of get into this kind of, okay, if I don't get it right this time, I'll get it right the next time, and then there's the next time, the next time, the next time, the next time. But we never really learned how to, that thing we needed to learn was to adapt, adjust, and accommodate. So let's start. We're going to step right into it. We're going to go a little bit different today. So I don't know how good your angle is. So let's start. Probably can't see my hands here. But I want you to lift up. Let's come down again. So let's take a, so we're going to regroup. We're going to dig in. We're going to move into this flow. So a little bit harder today. And if you feel you can't do it, then take the time out and just take a break. Only do what you can do, and that's it. You know, yoga, adapt, adjust, move, flow, however you want to go into the moment, whatever you can feel and how you feel it at that time. Did I say that right? Yes, I did. Okay, all right. Let's just move. And so let's one more time. So let's inhale, arms up. You know, really, so when you're lifting up, so you're kind of letting the navel push back toward the back. So as if your back was almost straightening and your navel was, you were kind of bringing your navel, your belly button, visualizing that going towards your back. So you're straightening in the back. You're planting your feet. You're noticing that your body is totally even in a straight line. Arms up, arms down. Exhale. Face the palms up. Bringing the energy into the bottoms of your hands. Now let's reverse the hands around. So now we're we're facing our palms toward the bottom of our hands, that is, toward the ground, okay? So, once again, let's come up this time, and let's bring the legs a little closer, and let's stretch over to the right a little bit. And if it's too much for you, then maybe you just want to come a little bit. So, breathing deep as we're going. Let's stretch over to the other side. Here we go. Engaging, pointing out to the far off east, upwardly toward the sky, lifting in and exhale, and let's reach down and let's come into tall mountain. Let's take a few breaths before we do so. And I hope you guys don't mind being with me for this 45 minutes. If you find me boring, you just turn it off. And then come back to it. All right. But, you know, I like to do things differently. You know, some people may think I'm a little bit of a screwball, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. And that's another thing that I want to, it doesn't matter what people think. You know, you have to move in with your flow, with what you want to do to be the best version of what you can be in that given day. And this is what we're talking about, getting through this day right here. And this, obviously, it is a beautiful day. If you look at it, I mean, it's just insurmountable. I mean, you look at the power of nature, it's just incredible. And so we're taking that, we have that power to get that power into us because we're tied into that. We just have to connect with it. Okay, so let's move on to the next flow. So let's go right into let's move into warrior. So we're going to go a little bit differently today. We're going to proceed a little quicker. We're going to do some things to get us warmed up. If you feel you want to do a couple sun salutations and just a few warm-up, then please do so. Like I said, turn the video off, then come back to it. There's no rush here. I'm just going at a particular pace that I think is applicable to what everybody might need, or at least half of everybody or some of the people. So let's bring the arms up. So we're going to keep the legs straight here. Notice that your front heel and back heel are aligned. Front heel and back arch. lift up. So the hands are up alongside the ears. If you can't do that, then just come out a little bit. Keep the legs straight here. Now, exhale, and let's deepen into the stretch into warrior one. If you can look up to the hands and do so. Otherwise, just keep the gaze forward. Keep the breath active. Come into warrior two. So again, Virabhadrasana 2. Okay. Drop the shoulders. Now you're really taking in a lot of strength. You're building strength here. You're really getting into that strength mode, that strong zone, stepping into that power. I'm going to slow down a little bit. So exhale and release. Okay, so let's take a couple breaths and we're going to go to the other side into Virabhadrasana. So we're doing things totally reversed here today. Like I said the other day, everything's kind of different. Different days, different pleasures. Different days, different activities. Different days, different traumas. Different days, different ecstasies or ecstatic moments. Now that was kind of off the beaten path, but I said it. All right. So, all right, let's move on. So once again, let's do the same thing in reverse, lifting up the hands. And let's straighten the legs here first. So the legs are straight. So we feel our bodies here. Let's shift our hips and make sure that our hips are in line with our feet. Let's lift the arms up again. Take a breath. A lot of energy here. If you want, bring the hands together. Maybe touch the index fingers. Really noticing that energy that's coming in from your fingers and your hands. You're noticing the back leg is planted firm, both legs are straight, deepen into the stretch. Bend the right knee, it would be your left knee, over the foot. The back foot is about 45 degrees in. The gaze is forward or the gaze is up at your hands if you're more advanced. If you're more advanced, you can try to deepen that stretch. Look up toward the hands, otherwise facing forward. Come out into warrior two, exhale. Strong, knee stays directly over the foot, shift the hips. The hips are in line with the shoulders. Staying in warrior two. Now try to drop the shoulders. Dropping the shoulders, relaxing, bringing the shoulders toward the ground or your yoga mat, if you have a mat today. And let's release. Now, let's take a moment, recollect, stay where you are. Let's exhale, rest the arm onto the thigh and lift the arm upward. Now keep that arm facing up, open the chest and the shoulders. So you're in a straight line, your arm and your chest and your knees are almost open like you are opening up to the sky. You're opening up to allowing that space to come into us. Or you're flat like a book, let's put it that way. And keep the breath going. Take another breath. If you need to come out sooner, then please do so. Now engage those fingers, point the palm toward the ground, looking up slightly toward the arm, the back leg is straight. And this one is really good, like I said before, for the overall strength of the legs, the arms, the knees, the shoulders, the chest. It's good for everything, including the digestion, the heart, the respiratory system. You're really going into this in Parasvakonasana. So let's come up and exhale. And let's take a couple breaths, and then we're going to do the other side. So let's bring the feet back together a bit. And I've been doing this a long time, you know, for those of you that don't know who I am. You know, I'm not going to get into that now. I've gotten into it in some of the other videos, you know, of where I've come from and what I've done. But you know, my mission in life is to give what I know to others, to let others, you know, I feel that we should share our, you know, our comings and goings and our experiences and what our knowledge is to the rest of the collective out there. And that's what this is all about, as far as coming from my perspective. So we all have a certain purpose in life, and our goal is to figure out what that purpose is. And we can only do that through getting in touch with the infinite consciousness. We get in tune with God, the infinite consciousness, and what have we. And that's what yoga is, the tool. It's one of the tools to allow us to do that. So let's go to the other side. Exhale, same stretch, extended side angle, lift up, back leg is firm, straight, chest open, the front knee 90 degrees, right directly over the foot, look up to the arm. Okay, so you're thinking, gee, you know, I don't really want to be here, I don't have the patience, you know, and you're kind of going through kind of a, you know, do I have to do this again, or is this, you know, I could be doing something better. This is uncomfortable, but that is where this is where the true yoga is. It's going through things, adapting, adjusting, accommodating to what we don't necessarily want to do at the time. But so you go through it, move through the discomfort. Obviously, if there's too much discomfort, then you want to come up if you're really sore. But this is the goal. If you're feeling strong and you can go through it, then please go through it at your own discretion. Now let's come up. So this is what yoga is all about: adapting, adjusting, accommodating, going through what we don't necessarily want to do at a given time, even though we don't want to do it. But this is how it equates to life. Think about the day. Now think about the equation here. When you're going to something you don't want to go to, it may be a party, it may be a lecture, maybe it's a, you know, maybe you're having to do something that you didn't really want to do, but you're going to go through it. Maybe it's your job, maybe it's the boss that you can't stand, or your coworkers, and you're just saying, oh shoot, you know, I have to go through it, but you have to move through it. You have to move through it. And so what you're doing here within the yoga postures and the asanas, you're training your mind to move through these things, even though you didn't necessarily have the patience or the perseverance maybe to move through it. But you elected to go through it because of the state of the discipline. You said you were going to do it, and you showed up. So then you move through it, but your mind, oh no, I gotta, you know, I can't do this. It's too much. It's uncomfortable. But that's the whole point. Move through everything in life, in your day, even though it's uncomfortable, and go through it. Okay, so let's go on to the next pose. So we're doing we're kind of going through the flow here. We're doing things a little bit different. So let's go into Prasarita Padottanasana. So this is the kind of the wide angle thing. And I'm going to change my vantage point here. You guys maybe just stay where you are. Just stay where you know, if that's fine for you. But I'm going to have to shift so that you can see where I am. Okay, so let's bring the arms out again. Bend our knees a little bit, take some pressure off the back. then come up. And now we're gonna, if you're more advanced today, you're gonna come forward like this. You're gonna lift the arms up toward the sky, keeping your back parallel to the ground or your yoga mat. In my case, I'm looking directly down at the sand. Okay, now if you're not advanced, if you're new to yoga or more of an intermediate or beginner, then let's just bring our hands on our hips. So again, if you want to go with the more extended pose, which may give you a little bit more lift and more taking a little bit more of the sky, taking more of that energy down to you by lifting those hands up and back, you can do so. If you don't want to, you get just as much as an effect just doing the modified approach. So I'm looking toward the east. Yeah, that's the east, and so we're getting in that that morning solar activity, or the sun coming through us. There's not too much sun out again today because we're at the coast, Southern California coast, and it's much of the time it's cloudy, so we don't always get what we want. I was hoping for maybe a more of a sunnier day, but sunnier morning. But I like this. I think it's very apropos, and I think it's working out just perfectly. Everything is good. It's a good mood. So let's move through this. We'll try to keep this under 7 hours today. Hopefully about maybe 1 hour, maybe 55 minutes. Okay, so let's take a breath. Inhale, and you can either do one of the two, lifting hands up behind you or coming forward. And so we're going to stretch forward, bending from the hips, taking pressure off the back by bending the knees if you have to. If you want to keep the legs straight, then keep your legs straight. Try to keep a straight back. Notice if your back is rounding or you're coming down too far and rounding the back, then you want to come up. You may just want to come down to here, but keeping the back in alignment, keeping the neck in line with the back. Stretching down as we descend, we exhale, keeping the breath active and moving. All right, so we're keeping very focused. Once again, I don't really want to be here, but I'm here. Oh, this is a drag. Ah, shucks. But I'm here, let's get through it. Then eventually you're going to come out, and you're going to be glad you did. If you want to go further, bring the hands down on the legs. And stretch, bringing the head toward your knees. Okay, let's start to come up. Inhale. Now let's lift the arms way up. So this is the power. This is stepping into the zone. Stepping into your, notice that you're engaging your fingers. You're lifting those hands. You're lifting out. Now broaden the hands, lift them out to the sides, bring them back. Look up. Feel your feet planting. Okay? So your feet are really connecting here with the ground. You're really getting this energy, this movement, this whole atmospheric excellence into your system, all right? So let's come out of that, and we're going to just do, I think, just one more. So we're going to go into the tree pose, I think. Take a couple moments. Isn't this, I don't know, I just, sometimes I'm I just amaze myself on what, how I try to turn things around. It just seems right to me. Maybe it doesn't seem right to you, I don't know. But that's what life is all about, and that's what this whole practice of yoga is. And more important than that, in whatever kind of exercise you do, if it's yoga or aerobics, if it's volleyball, if it's football or baseball or whatever, skiing, ice hockey, whatever it is, it all get you into that state, and it's so good for you, so beneficial, so life-changing. So, any kind of exercise is good. It's a tool. It's something that you can use that just increases your longevity in every aspect of life. All right. So let's go into for those of you that don't know the tree, we're going to do the tree, so we're going to get a balancing pose in before we go into our seated stretches. And taking the time to really appreciate this present time that we're in, this moment, this great, shall we say, magnificent ocean. And by the way, that's on the west coast. This is South Carlsbad State Beach. For those of you that don't know where that is, it's kind of near, I would say it's a little bit kind of near Oceanside, maybe north of San Diego. So in all these beaches, all the way up from here to LA, to Malibu, and some of you know where that is, in Santa Monica, Venice Beach. If you're from another part of the world and you want to travel, so these are some of the beaches: Point Dume, Malibu, the Topanga Canyon State Beach. All of these beaches, all the way down to the Mexican border. Just beautiful, majestic. As we move on, so let's just go on to the balancing pose. So now, when we do the tree pose, Vrksasana, this is really getting us into our balance. And so it's our balancing our Ida and our Pingala, our left and right side, so that, one side is always a little shaky. So we're going to try to bring the other side that's not shaky into harmony with the side that is shaky. So let's just see how shaky I am. I'm probably pretty shaky. I don't know. We'll see how I come across on this. I don't know. Let's do our right side first. So you can either start on the right, or we can start on the left, or we can start with the front, or I don't know. We can go into any way we want. Looking up, looking down, looking around, looking at the sun, looking at people. Got some people behind here. There's some people watching, and that's okay. All right. So, if you want to do the modified approach, then let's just bring our hands into our chest. Try to lift the leg up a little bit. If you can't lift the leg up, then just step out in front. However best suits you. You can have the arms at the sides, or you can have your hands in prayer like this, right? Okay. If you're more advanced and you want to go into full tree, then we can come up like this. Oh, I did that pretty smooth on that side. Hold it a few breaths. Try to find a focal gazing point. So you're staring out in front of you, keeping the eyes calm, and let's come down. So you can feel a lot of balance in that tree as we're going forward. So let's take a couple moments. Remember, always do a little bit of relaxation between to let the body catch up with with yourself. Catching up with your breath, so we don't want to overdo it and get out of breath, and that we overexert ourselves or anything like that. And once again, if you get tired, then please take a break. All right. So let's go to the next side. Stepping out, hands into prayer. So we're just kind of going with whatever we feel like today. If you can't lift the leg, you can try to lift the leg up here. Okay, so let's lift the leg up. If you can't lift it up, just keep it down. As long as we get a little bit of balance going. And if you want to go into the tree, if you're more advanced, then go into the tree pose like this. Try to get those arms straight, palms together, gazing forward. If you're just out to here, then stay there, and then let's come back. And only hold this as long as you feel that you can hold it. Always come out sooner. Don't just do it because I said to do it. Do what you feel that you need to do. Use your discretion. Yoga is all about tuning into yourself. Remember, I said before that that's the mark of your progress. When you can feel your development, you can feel where you've been, where you've come from, and what you're tuning into what you feel your next move is going to be. That's how you can gauge yourself. So it's better to be a type B than a type A in this sense. And, there's already too many people that sit out in the front row and they're just yay, but they don't practice what they preach. And then they wear themselves out in the process. All right, so that was just my analogy. That was crazy, but all right, so let's do one more. Let's do Parsvottanasana. And feeling that like we need to do that. Let's step out to our right side first. So I'm doing everything in reverse today. This is just this is the way we should do it a lot of the time, because we don't have time to think about let's see, it was this in the book that said this. We did that first, that. No, okay. It's not. It's just feeling where we need to go. And sometimes that's the best method, the best mode of approach. Square off your hips. Bring the hands behind the back, or if you're more advanced. If you're not advanced, more new to yoga, then let's bring the arms up. And we're going to bring the arms up anyway, by the way, even if you're advanced, before you go into that prayer behind the back. So if you're more advanced and you're going to come back to here, we take a breath. If you're not, come up to here. But if you were more advanced, you're going to be here. Your back foot's going to be in 45. You're going to be lined up with the front heel. And you're going to exhale from the hips, looking down toward the foot. You're going to bring the head toward the knee. And breathe. Take a few breaths. Both legs are active, nice and smooth. We're going to come up, and let's shift over to the other side. Let's kind of get through this here. Once again, lift the arms up, both legs are straight, really lifting toward the sky. All right. If you're in the reverse position, like this, and your legs are straight. Exhale as we descend into the posture. Back is straight. If you're tired, then come up and rest. If you feel you're getting too tired, but otherwise try to move through it. Try to move through it to the best you can. Even if you don't really want to be here today, but sometimes what you don't want to do seems to be a real gain. You're glad you went to the gym and you took a jacuzzi and you took a sauna, even though you said, I don't want to do that before you left. Okay, so we keep the breath active, keeping the legs straight, and let's come up, clearing the mind. Notice how clear your mind is. Notice where you're feeling differently than when you first started. Your energy's better, you're more in tune, you're starting to get more calm with your voice. Everything is better. If we don't do any exercise or anything at all, we get real nervous and we're tense. But when we start to exercise, and we do yoga before in the morning, we start to open up the body, and we can go out and proceed into the world with a clear focus, clarity, and clarity of speech, thought, action, and mode. I'm going to go into the shoulder stand today, or the modified shoulder stand. Showed you a little bit about the modified a couple days ago. So you might want to do the modified, and just stick with me on that. If you want to go into the shoulder stand, feel free to do so if you're more advanced and you want to go into the shoulder stand. Otherwise, follow along with me into the modified, and that's okay because we're getting some of that inverted benefit coming into our body today. So if you want to do the modified, that's fine. If you want to do the advanced, you go into full shoulder stand. If you know it, then feel free to do so. So I think I'm at the right angle here. Let me see if I'm at the right vantage point. It looks like I am. Maybe a little bit off. Okay, so let's come into, so we're going to take a flat down position on our yoga mat, if you have one today. Alright, so here we go. So let's lay down. Make a nice, I think y'all can see me. And let's just lift the legs up like this. You may want to grab onto your legs a little bit. And breathe. If you want to go into the full shoulder stand, then go into full shoulder stand. If you want to go into more of a modified shoulder stand, then just come up a little bit like this, grabbing on the tripod, right where the lower back meets the butt. So kind of in the tripod of the butt, kind of gradually tilting yourself up a little bit. Your legs are kind of angled back, kind of like this. If you're in the full shoulder stand, then you're up more like this. That's only for advanced people. But if you're not, you're kind of just up into you're kind of on your elbows. And I don't know how well you can see me based on the camera. Your arms or elbows are into the sides. And you're up at kind of like almost, I'd say about a 30-degree angle, maybe 45. And let's, if you're in shoulder stand, then come out of it. If you're in the modified, then let's just begin to roll out vertebrae by vertebrae very slowly and come down back onto your mat. In my case, it's a little bit uneven on the sand. All right, so, okay. And let's come up into Setu Bandhasana, the Briidge Pose, which is the counter pose. All right, so here we go, up into bridge. And some of you can kind of put your hands underneath your back like this. Feet are evenly apart. And you keep the breath active. And this is the counter pose. If you don't want to do that, if it's too strenuous, you might want to just keep your arms at your side like this, or if it was too much for you, then just stay like right here. So once again, and then come down and continue to take a few breaths. Now from there, usually after the shoulder stand, the next pose usually that follows that would be Paschimottanasana, or the forward bend. Once again, so going with the flow today. So let's bring the arms back. Bring the arms forward. Okay, let's prepare to get up. So let's make a slow transition up. Kind of on elbows first, and then coaxing ourselves up like so. Okay. And I have kept my shoes on for this whole routine today, which is kind of apropos, kind of out on the beach. Not your typical, what I would call a yoga setting here. Doing things a little bit on the edgy side today. So let's go into Paschimottanasana as we stretch forward. So let's lift the hands up, straightening through the back. And exhale forward. And this one is good for just the kind of getting a tranquil mood going. It's good for the back and the hips, and toning out the body. And of course, it's good. It's really good for the digestion. Slide your hands down a little bit as we exhale. And of course, the best benefit of this pose is for the lower back, keeping a nice healthy back, and keeping the. And by the way, it tones you, keeps your legs nice and toned. And it's a good pose for just to relax and overall tranquility of the mind and spirit. Look towards your feet, keep the back straight. If you're rounding the arms too much, then come up a little bit. And you don't have to go all the way down. It's not a prove how good you are contest, and some of you might want to go all the way down and touch your feet if you're able to do that. Most of you will probably be right in this range, and that's okay. And then you work from there. You deepen the stretch, but you always start from higher. Keep a slight bend to the elbows, a slight rounding, and you don't want to over exhilarate or over exert your back. So always keep a straight back. Try to be mindful about that. You can hold this one for a little bit longer, sometimes even up to 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes some people have held it for. But good rule of thumb, maybe about 45 seconds, maybe a minute. Let's come up, inhale, and exhale, and release. And breathe. Okay, so we're going to come into Ardha Parvattanasana, which is I'm going to demonstrate Parvattanasana probably in the next class that I do, which is the incline plane. But today we're going to do something a little bit different because I'm kind of feeling it right now. I'm just feeling this, like I want to do this, I don't know why. So this is the table pose. Ardha Parvattanasana. So I'm going to demonstrate it first. So we're going to come up. We're going to keep the neck up. So we don't want to lunge the neck way back. So keep looking forward. So this is the demonstration. So let's go through this. And so once again, come out here in a seated position. Let's just bring our feet up first. Feet evenly spaced apart, arms behind us at a comfortable length, not too far back so that we strain our arms. And if this is too much, then simply stay out of the pose and just watch. Take a break. So take a breath, inhale. Let's come up into the table. Keep the gaze forward, keep the neck up. Arms are straight, almost like the knees and the feet are at a 90-degree angle. Keep the breath active here. And once again, strength building. So the focus today is on stepping into your power zone. It's going to be the title of this video. And let's come down after about 5 breaths and relax. And let's go into Upavishta Konasana next, which is the wide angle. Let's take a break first. And we're just going to call it a morning after this pose. Maybe we're going to do one more. I think we're going to do Purna Trikonasana, the triangle. So get ready for that. Get ready. All right. So legs apart. If that's too much for you, then maybe bring the legs a little closer back together. If you're feeling too strained, then simply don't do anything at all. Just do what you can. Now there are variations to this. I'll get into those at a later date. But today, for the sake of the matter, we're just going to bend forward So let's just stretch forward a little bit. Exhale as we, keeping the back straight, bending from the hips. Back is very straight in alignment. Slight bend to the elbows. Once again, come up a little bit if you're too sore. And breathe. Letting go. Maybe deepen the stretch. Take another breath. Exhale. What a great day. I just love this. Just going with the mood, going with the flow, going with what I feel, going with what I think that you feel. I hope, it may not be what everybody feels, but some people, if it resonates with you, then that's great. All right, so let's come out, inhale, and let's release, and kind of bring the legs back together, and let's just do a couple spinal twists here today. So let's go into spinal twist. Let's do it this way today. I'm going to show you a different variation on next Monday morning. Okay, so let's bring the left foot, I don't know which foot or how you're seeing it on the camera, but I'm going to say your left foot over the right leg like this. The leg is straight out in front, the knee is up like this. We're crossing over the knee. Lift the arm up, drop the arm down over the leg, and look back towards your hand. Keep it the back hand at a comfortable length from the shoulder. Don't squinch in the shoulder. Keep your back straight. And these poses, by the way, the spinal twisting is very good for the digestive system and getting your digestive system in gear. It's also good for the spine. So these are very good for keeping a healthy back. So they're very effective poses, very beneficial. Let's do the other side. Take a break first. Kind of keep yourself up with your hands so you're keeping your back straight. And take a couple breaths. Regroup. And let's do the other side. Bring the knee and the foot on the opposite side of the knee. Drop the hand behind the thigh. Relax the hand. Look back towards your back hand. Place it at a comfortable length behind you so that you're looking back toward the other side of the room. In my case, I'm looking at the water. Got a surfer out there that's waiting for a wave, it looks like. Keep the breath going, nice and active. Keep the chin even with the ground. And I always do these poses. I really, for the most part, for my digestion, to really get everything kind of stimulated in the morning, everything, get the system moving, get the system going. So these spinal twisting moves are very good for that. And I'm going to show there's more variations to these. There's a lot of different ones, like I was talking about before. And I'll show you those as we go on further. And let's just come out and let's just finish it up here. And I'm going to step back a little bit so that you can all see me. Okay, let's just go right back to there. And I'm going to step down. So I'm pretty far back here. We're going to go into what's called Purna Trikonasana. So your feet are pretty wide apart, about 3 feet. And this is Trikonasana, by the way. So we're going to go into Trikonasana first, and then we're going to come into Purna Trikonasana, which Purna means full. In yoga, Purna is full. Ardha is always half. So follow along with me, arms up. Exhale over to the side. The right foot is out 90 degrees. The back foot is into the posture slightly. Lift up the arm. Look up to the hand if you can, otherwise keep the gaze forward. Take a couple breaths. And let's go into Purna Trikonasana. Arm outstretched over the head, kind of like you did in the side angle. Gaze is forward, legs are active. The chest is open in alignment with the knees and the feet. All right, so we'll take a couple more breaths. If you get tired, come out. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, and release. All right, so let's go to the other side. And I'm pretty far back here, but that's okay. You don't need to see me here. Just as long as you can get the drift, you can see where my feet are. That's the most important thing. So arms out, and let's go into regular Trikonasana. Doing everything reverse today and the total opposite, and that's okay. That's a really good thing. Step out of the box. Step out of the box for today. Get you into a new box, a new zone. Breathe. Reach down to the foot. Open the chest out. Arm is straight. Come into Purna Trikonasana. Keep that arm straight and active. Keep the chest open, both legs straight. Back foot into the posture. Come out sooner if you need to. And for the sake of a minute, let's all come out. Whoa, okay, we're out. And so let's just prepare for final relaxation. And so find a place that's comfortable to lie down, and we're going to just take a few moments to relax and to wind everything up. So, let's see. Oh yes. I was wondering when I was going to see a paddleboarder, and there's the first one. Probably can't see him from here, but from where you are. It's a good place to paddleboard right off the coast in the ocean there. Yeah, that's great. All right, so let's go into final relaxation. And we'll take about 3 minutes today, so. I'm just going to lie down, and I want you to just let go, surrender to your yoga mat, surrender to the ground, let gravity hold you up. So we're surrendering to gravity, which is just what this whole thing is all about. This yoga lesson throughout your whole life is really about surrendering to gravity, letting yourself be supported throughout your tensions, not letting tension hold you up, but letting gravity support you. And that's what we do in meditation. We connect with the ground. We feel supported. We don't hold on to ourselves. We let go. Go ahead and lie down and let go. As you feel yourself going down, spread your feet apart. Bring your arms out, airplane fashion. And let's just take about 3 or 4 minutes and let go. Just let go. Bring the attention toward the breath. All right, if you need to stay a little bit longer, then please do so. And then let's just come out, let's just roll over onto our side. Always the way that we transition up, so we don't come up too quickly. All right, let's just kind of gently kind of coax ourselves up. Thanking ourselves for what we did. Your body goes through a lot of work for you, and you know, I've learned to appreciate my body, you know, and you know, we need a healthy, toned, and physical specimen, you know, like a fine-tuned mechanism to enable the spirit to be much more effective in our life, and to allow the spirit to work through us. We need to have a healthy body, and so that's why diet is a big part. Diet, and of course, keeping the body hydrated. So taking care of our body, we don't want to abuse our body. That's a big part of yoga, by the way. So let's do a few ohms. Let's finish up today, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths. Relax the shoulders, straighten the back. Don't get too straight, like you're feeling uncomfortable, or you're purposely trying to stiffen up because you want to keep your back straight. So just be more relaxed, but be mindful that everything is kind of loose. Everything is straight. Your shoulders are nice and drawn. You feel your shoulders are more drawn toward the ground, towards your yoga mat, and their fingers are touching. And let's just breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Once again, inhale. And exhale. Let's do a few ohms. And into the chest, to the Anahata chakra, just for a moment. And release the hands. Take a breath, inhale. Bring it up from the base chakra. We're bringing the awakened state into the deep sleep state when we Om. And that connects the base chakra with the throat and the head chakra, the facial chakras, and the ajna chakra, most of all, the third eye. As we really lift that Om from lower onto upper. So once again, take a breath, inhale. Alright, thank you for sharing your energy with me today. See you in the next yoga class.